Sutra 10,000 yojanas east of this sea is another sea in which they will undergo twice as much suffering. East of that sea is yet another sea where the sufferings are doubled yet again. When the combined evil causes of the three karmic vehicles evoke is called the Sea of Karma. This is that place. Commentary 10,000 yojanas east of this sea is another sea in which they will undergo twice as much suffering. The suffering in the other sea is much severe than this one. See how people are suffering as the evil beasts and yakshas chase them about in this ocean. Were you to see the other sea, you would know that the suffering there is manifold compared to this one. East of that sea is yet another sea where the sufferings are doubled yet again. The suffering there is much more than the previous sea. What is the reason for the existence of these oceans? What the combined evil causes of the three karmic vehicles evoke? The three karmas are the karma of body, the karma of mouth, and the karma of mind. There are three evils to body, which are killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. There are three evils to the mind. They are greed, hatred, and delusion. There are four evils to the mouth. They are frivolous speech, false speech, harsh speech, and divisive speech. Frivolous speech consists of improper words between men and women. False speech refers to exaggerations and lies. Harsh speech means scolding people. Divisive speech means telling A about B's faults and telling B about A's faults. One says two different things. There are four evils to the mouth, plus three evils of the body and three evils of the mind, making a total of 10 evils. These 10 evils are also called the evil causes of the three karmas. This is to creating evil. How come there is this type of ocean with evil waters with so many evil beasts and yakshas? They come forth because of people's evil causes. Plant good causes and reap good fruits. Plant evil causes and reap evil fruits. People deserve what they get since they create their own offense karma. It's called the Sea of Karma. The three oceans together make up the Sea of Karma, which are all created by the power of people's karma. This is that place, the Sea of Karma. Sutra. The worthy woman asked the ghost king Poisonless, "Where are the hells?" Poisonless answered, "Within the three seas are hundreds of thousands of hells, each one different. 18 of those who are known as the great hells, 500 subsequent ones inflict limitless cruel sufferings. Following those are hundreds of thousands that inflict limitless further sufferings." The worthy woman again questioned the great ghost king, "My mother died recently, and I do not know where she has gone." Commentary. The worthy Brahman woman asked the ghost king Poisonless, "Where are the hells?" Ghost king Poisonless answered the Brahman woman, "Within the three seas are hundreds of thousands of hells." What is the sea of suffering? The sea of suffering is a conglomeration of living beings' karma. Ocean is symbolic of a large number. There is not an ocean necessarily. It represents the accumulation of karma that is as limitless as the great sea. These three seas are created by people's three karmas of body, mouth, and mind. So Poisonless told the Brahman woman that within the three seas are the great hells. Each one of the hells is different, replete with its unique setup. In other words, each person experiences a unique hell based on his karma. houses are not existent and prepared before people passed away. The house manifests based on each individual's karma. Each experiences retribution based on his or her offense karma. For instance, there is a hell of molten copper. Pillars of molten copper are hollow except for a blazing fire inside. What kind of individual falls into the house? Disinterested individuals. The power of karma makes these individuals see molten copper in the shape of pupil. Lusty men see molten copper and think it is a beautiful woman. As he runs forward to embrace the beautiful woman, he is scorched through to the skin and flesh that he is stuck. Lusty women see molten copper as an extremely handsome man or an old friend. She wants to get closer without regard for anything, but when she does get close, she gets burned to death by the fire of desire. After being burned to death, a clever wind in the house that was mysteriously created revives the being in the house so that he or she experiences the same retribution repeatedly, though he or she has forgotten the results and only remembers the benefits. He or she makes the same mistake and suffers the retribution there. This is how the molten copper hell works. There are many different kinds of hells, each with each unique features. 18 of those are known as the Great Hells. Each hell has 18 separate spots. 500 subsequent ones inflict limitless cruel sufferings. Following there those are hundreds of thousands that inflict limitless further sufferings. The worthy woman again questioned the great Ghost King. "Oh, big brother Ghost King, please instruct me out of compassion. My mother died recently and I do not know where she has gone. I do not know where my mother's soul went. Big brother Ghost King, please be kind and tell me." Sutra. The Ghost King asked the worthy woman, "When the Bodhisattva's mother was alive, what habits did she have?" The worthy woman replied, "My mother held deviant views and ridiculed and slandered the Triple Jewel. Even if she occasionally believed, she would soon become disrespectful again. She died recently and I still do not know where she was reborn." Poisonless asked, "What was the Bodhisattva's mother's name and clan?" The worthy woman replied, "My parents were both Brahmans. My father's name was Srila Sudarshana. My mother's name was Yue Di Li." Poisonless placed his palms together and implored the worthy woman, "Please, worthy one, quickly return home. There is no need for you to grieve further. The offender Yue Di Li was born in the heavens 3 days ago. It is said that she received the benefit of offerings made and blessings cultivated by her filial child who practiced giving to enlightenment flower samadhi self-mastery king thirst come one stupas and monasteries. Not only was the Bodhisattva's mother released from the house, but all the other offenders who were destined for the relentless hell also received bliss and were reborn with her." Having finished speaking, the Ghost King put his palms together and withdrew. Commentary. Ghost King Poisonless heard the Brahman woman's question about where her mother has become reborn, which of the 6 destinies on the wheel of birth. The Ghost King asked the worthy woman, "When the Bodhisattva's mother was alive, what habits did she have?" The Ghost King saw that the Brahman woman must be able to go to the house because of the power of her awesome virtue and vows, so referred to her as a Bodhisattva. "What did your mother do when she was alive? What occupation was she in? How did she act?" The worthy woman replied, "My mother held Deviant views. Although she was my mother, I cannot cover her mistakes. She held Deviant knowledge and Deviant views, which are the 5 sharp servants in the areas of body, extremes, precepts, views, and deviances. Deviant view of the body. She never accepted the shorter end of the bargain. She always thought about what was best for her body. For example, she wanted nutritious food because she was afraid of poor health. She fed herself so well so that she was nice and round. She thought it was healthy to be chubbier. She was always planning things for her body, a good place to live, good food, and nice clothes. She spent all of her time on doing this type of calculations. How can this be good for the body? This is a view of the body that refuses to let the body get hurt. View of extremes. All of her views were prejudiced. She disagreed with other people's opinions about smoking being unhealthy. She thought smoking was the best and criticized you for not knowing the beauty of it. If you did, you would not quit. Her explanation seemed to make sense. Extreme views may be ingenious explanations with formless reasoning, but they are actually prejudiced. View of precepts. She held Deviant precepts such as fighting non-vegetarian Buddhists fine. She found people who do not even touch salt as people with real skill. She teased Sangha members about how, if they do not believe her, they should just try these Deviant precepts. In general, she always found faults with something fine. There are no problems, but she will look with a microscope for some fault. Deviant view. For example, everyone says it is right to be filial to our parents, but she would say, why? Parents procreate because they sought momentary pleasures, and you think they are good to you. Do not bother with your parents. They deserve to get old and die. The sooner that they die, the better. Otherwise, there is just one more consumer alive. She gave these big long explanations, arguing with you about filiality. She said it is wrong to be filial. Why be filial to elders? That is really stupid. This is a Deviant view. And ridiculed and slandered the true bourgeois. She teased and criticized. When she saw people bowing to the Buddhas, she would say, is that a Buddhist? Buddhists do everything. They are no better than anybody else. They still eat, drink, gamble, and prostitute like everyone else. What good is it to believe in the Buddhas? She piles a list of forms on Buddhists so that Buddhists seem like criminals who commit worse things than the 10 evils and the 5 rebellious acts. This is a form of ridicule. She slandered by saying Buddhism cheats people. She said that the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha are all fake. The Buddha is made of clay, the Dharma is the words on paper, and Sangha members are human too. How are they different from regular people? Why should you believe them? Why should you bow to them? You are so stupid. She scolded you hard so that Buddhists are embarrassed to the point that some are afraid to let others know that they are Buddhists. One elderly man who comes to listen to the sutras on Sundays asked to take refuge with me a few years ago, but I never agreed. Why? It is because he said that he wanted to take refuge secretly so that no one knows. Taking refuge is not stealing. Why should it be secret? I do not have any secret refuges here, so I told him to think things over before taking refuge. It is so strange, but he says that since he is a Catholic with long-time Catholic friends who will call him a rebel if they knew that he believed in Buddhism. If you do not say so, you are deceiving them. That makes you even more of a criminal. He says that he's still getting some charity there. How can someone like this be a Buddhist? How pathetic. Even if she occasionally believed, perhaps and supposedly she believed it was a temporary and not forever. We must make vows to believe in Buddhism forever and not just temporarily like the Brahman woman's mother. Temporary faith may last 1 hour, then vanish. Some people's faith does not last for more than 2 hours, at the most an hour or 5 minutes. They cool off after 5 minutes of faith. We must make vows to have faith forever. We would soon become disrespectful. She would soon become disrespectful again. Perhaps for 5 minutes' time, she will go along and bow to the Buddhas, take refuge with the triple jewel, and find a teacher. But as soon as she turns around, for no particular reason at all, she no longer wishes to pay respects to the Buddhas and believe in the Buddhas. She died recently, and I still do not know where she was reborn. Poisonless asked the Brahman woman for more detail because she did not say her mother's name. What was the Bodhisattva's mother's name and clan? What was your mother's surname, first name, address? Say all this clearly. The worthy Brahman woman replied, my parents were both Brahmans. There are 4 castes in India. The Brahmans are the clan of purity. The Kshatriyas are royalty. The Vaisyas are the merchants. The Kalas are the lowest caste, including butchers, slaughterers, etc. In India, butchers could not work alongside other people but have to work on the roadside alone. If they met members of the royalty, they cannot even walk on the same road. They are marked so that everyone can tell at a glance that they are Kalas, the lowest of caste. The Brahman woman is a member of the Brahman clan, a member of the elite. Both the Indian and Great Britain were hierarchical, and that continues today. United States is democratic. People do not think hierarchically, but equally. India was different. High-class individuals could not converse with low-class individuals. If you spoke with members of the lower class, nobilities looked down on you, treating you as if you were worthless. Hierarchical thought harshly divides up people. My father's name was Srila Sudarshana. Srila usually refers to the Vinaya, but here it just means cool and refreshing. My mother's name was Yue Ti Li, a Sanskrit word that is not formally explained in the Buddhist sutras, but let me add some commentaries now. Yue means favor and Ti means emperor. Someone that emperor's favor. In other words, this person was so pretty that even the emperor liked her. You may say that there's nothing fixed about a person's name. Since people's names are not fixed, you may spell it however you want as long as it is reasonable, and especially if it is Sanskrit. Do not simply claim ignorance when you see things in the sutras you do not understand. Research it with your wisdom. Once you uncover your wisdom, you will know. You may explain it in whatever way is reasonable, as long as you do not yell at people or say the negatives. Do not be so rigid. Poisonless placed his palms together out of respect and implored the worthy Brahman woman, please, worthy one, quickly return home. There is no need for you to grieve further. Worry no more. Do not think about your mother with such sadness or miss her so that you cannot let her go. The offender Yue Ti Li, a woman who committed offenses, was born in the heavens 3 days ago. How? It is said that she received the benefit of offerings made and blessings cultivated by her filial child a daughter specifically, who practiced giving to Enlightenment flower samadhi self-mastery can first come one as stupas and monasteries. The giving includes offering alms to the Sangha and the assembly. Not only was the Bodhisattva's mother released from the suffering of the hells, but all the other offenders like your mother, who were destined for the endless hell, also received bliss and were reborn with her. Having finished speaking, the Ghost King put his palms together respectfully and withdrew. Sutra. The Brahman woman returned swiftly as if from a dream, understood what had happened, and then made a profound and far-reaching vow before the stupas and images of enlightenment flower samadhi self-mastery king first come one, saying, I vow that until the end of future aeons, I will respond to beings suffering for their offenses by using many expedient devices to bring about their liberation. The Buddha told Manjushri, the Ghost King Poisonless is the present Bodhisattva foremost wealth. The Brahman woman is now Earth Star Bodhisattva. Commentary. The Brahman woman returned swiftly as if from a dream, understood what had happened. She went back and thought to herself, oh, I was by an ocean where I saw Poisonless, the great Ghost King, the evil beasts and offenders in their house. I asked him where my mother was reborn, and the Ghost King says she became reborn in the heavens. She knew that none of this was illusory, but occurred because the Enlightenment flower samadhi self-mastery King First Come One's awesome mind helped to make it happen. And then she made a profound and far-reaching vow before the stupas and images of Enlightenment flower samadhi self-mastery King First Come One, saying, I vow that until the end of future ends. When will the end of future ends occur? There will never be an end. Hence the vows of Earth Star King Bodhisattva will never end either. I will respond to beings suffering for their offenses throughout all 6 destinies by using many expedient devices to bring about their liberation, allowing them to leave suffering and attain bliss. The Buddha told Manjushri, the Ghost King Poisonless, who conversed with the Brahman woman, is the present Bodhisattva foremost wealth. The Bodhisattva foremost wealth cultivated the 7 sacred gems. 1. Faith, a gem in cultivation. 2. Precepts. The transmission and receiving of precepts are rare in the age of the decline of Dharma, but monastics must receive the precepts to be actual monastics. 3. Erudition. 4. Renunciation. Giving is also a gem in cultivation. 5. Wisdom, a gem in cultivation. 6. A sense of shame. 7. Remorse. Usually, remorse and a sense of shame go together. Although they are separate here, they are necessary gems in cultivation. He is called the Bodhisattva foremost wealth because he has these 7 gems of faith, precepts, erudition, renunciation, wisdom, a sense of shame and remorse. The Brahman woman is now Earth Star Bodhisattva. This is why we must emulate the former Earth Star Bodhisattva and practice filial respect on a wide scale, including the virtue of being filial to our parents and saving our parents. Sutra. At that time, the division bodies of Earth Star Bodhisattva began gathering in the palace of the Trayastrimsha Heaven from billions of inexpressible, inconceivable, immeasurable, ineffable, limitless asamkhya's of worlds. They came from wherever hells are found due to the spiritual powers of the First Come One. Each came from his own direction and was joined by thousands of billions of nayutas of those who had obtained liberation from the path of karma. All brought incense and flowers as offerings to the Buddha. Those groups who came were irreversible from Anuttara Sammasambuddhi because they had been taught and transformed by Earth-star Bodhisattva. For long aeons they had wandered in birth and death, undergoing suffering within the six paths without even temporary respite. Now they had reached various levels of sagehood due to the great compassion and deep vows of Earth-star Bodhisattva. They felt joyful as they arrived at the Trayastrimsha Heaven and gazed at the first come one, their eyes not leaving him for a moment.